Hey, how y'all doing, y'all? It's the Major here today, right? I got a couple videos here that will have you all second guessing life, right? Now, hey, there may be a trigger warning or two, but hey, I'll just hopefully not, hey, hopefully it won't be. So let's get straight to the video.
Traffickers target children in their own homes. They find them by combing through social media profiles looking to spark a conversation. The trafficker targets preteens and teens by finding an end, something to bond over and earn their trust. It could be the promise of a modeling career. They might buy them drugs or alcohol, or provide protection from an already dangerous situation at home. Traffickers gain psychological control and use violent threats to force victims to stay. Once the child is isolated from family and friends, the trafficker puts them up for sale. This is where the demand comes in. Traffickers use internet sites to connect with buyers or Johns, but calling them Johns is too polite. They are abusers. They are purchasing kids for sex. So who are these buyers? Court records show they've been teachers, pastors, cops, and judges. They could be the guy next door. The trafficker gets the money. The buyer gets sex. The child victim gets exploited and sold. So how is this different from prostitution, pornography, or other sexual acts? These victims are minors. Legally, they cannot consent. This isn't the movies. It's not like Pretty Woman or Taken. Richard Gere is not the buyer. Liam Neeson isn't there to save the day. This is sexual exploitation. This is trafficking.
The old rich crowds.
The little boy who approached me was about 11 years old, and when he approached me, he was selling me gum, candy, cigarettes, and it was about 11 o'clock at night. And I asked him, hey, if he'd like to sit down and have dinner with us, and he said yes. I asked him, did you eat yet? He's like, no, I haven't. And I said, okay, well, come on, sit down. And I literally handed him this menu, and as he opened the menu, he started just going through the whole menu, and 5 minutes went by, and I thought, man, this kid's so picky. And I said to him, hey, listen, whatever you want, this is on me. And he looked up at me with these like puppy eyes, and he said, I can't read. And I looked into it just a little bit more, and I found out that he was brought from Chiapas, which is about, I don't know, maybe about 8 to 10 hours away from here. And that's where most of the children are being trafficked from, and they're brought to Oaxaca, and the labor traffic begins.
I think that providing human trafficking charges to adults, like 46-year-old woman that we find with 14-year-old boys in her home with guns and drugs. And this woman, in this specific example, she's a white woman. Why do you have someone's child, right? 14, 15-year-old child in your house for a year, almost a year, that does not belong to you? And you have guns and you have drugs in your house, and now the kid's getting charged with the things in your house? Unacceptable.
And that adult
breach of probation.
Wow.
The kid gets like 40, 60 charges. 40. This is not acceptable. These adults need to be held accountable, and they need to be charged with human trafficking.
Where were the parents? That's a question that I get asked a lot when it comes to the Epstein files, and I believe that I can answer that for you. First, we have to understand something. Child trafficking does not usually look like a stranger grabbing a child off the street while the parents have their backs turned. That's the movie version, and it's not how it usually works. In many cases, especially internationally, traffickers target vulnerability. Some children live in extreme poverty. Some live in orphanage or state care systems with weak oversight. Some live in places where records are not carefully kept. In parts of the world dealing with corruption, war, or economic collapse, paperwork can be manipulated. Travel documents can be approved without real scrutiny, and a child can be moved and the system may not properly track them. That doesn't mean parents didn't care. In some cases, families are lied to. They're told their child will get education, work, or an opportunity abroad. In desperate situations, parents might believe they are giving their child a better future. They don't know that they're being deceived. In other cases, the children might already be in unstable situations, things like foster systems or institutions, maybe displacement from conflict, weak reporting systems, and when a child disappears from a region with poor infrastructure, that disappearance may never make it into an international database. Now add extreme wealth and power. Epstein operated across countries. He had private planes, private properties, an island, elite connections. That kind of insulation makes oversight harder and accountability slower. When power and money are involved, exploitation can be hidden behind layers of influence. So when people ask, where are the parents? The better question is, where were the systems? Where was the oversight? Where was the accountability for powerful adults who are allowed access to vulnerable children? Blaming parents feels simple, but trafficking is complex and it thrives on vulnerability, weak systems, deception, and power imbalance. And if we want prevention, we have to understand how it really works. Now, if you want to make sure that people who harm kids and exploit them get hit with the fullest extent of the law, in my profile, there is a petition to end easy plea deals for those who harm kids. Please take 2 seconds and sign it. Of course, hit that follow button and drop your thoughts in the comments.
All right. I'd like to take and thank, make sure all my subscribers, like to take and thank, make sure everybody who liked the video, right? If you all had liked this content, right? Just keep on liking the videos, right? And I keep on making and playing more content, sending out and many more videos, man, throughout the week.